Good morning, Cleveland and Columbus sports fans. This is Jenn B, and you are watching the show of the land on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Today, we're going to talk some basketball with the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Cleveland Charge, and we're going to talk what's happening with the WNBA and some college hoops. And then we'll get into some baseball with the Cleveland Guardians and some college baseball and softball updates. We will then talk hockey with the Columbus Blue Jackets of the Cleveland Monsters and the Ohio State Buckeyes. Then we'll get into some volleyball with the Columbus Fury. And surprise, we don't have this week with the Columbus Fury. And then we'll talk some college volleyball. We'll get into some football with the Browns and the Ohio State Buckeyes. And then we will talk some soccer, Columbus Crew and Cleveland Crunch. So stay right here, tuned in to the show of the land with Jenn B on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. And we will get into all of that right after these messages from our sponsors.
IE Sports Radio fans, this show is brought to you by Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky. Planet Jerky is the official jerky of the 2022 California League champion Lake Elsinore Storm, Single A affiliate of the San Diego Padres. This all brisket jerky has gluten-free options, contains no MSG, no sodium nitrate, is low in sugar, and high in protein. Go to their website at planetjerky.net and follow them on Instagram at Planet Jerky. Planet Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet.
Rise and shine. It's 4 a.m. The stars are still out. The sun is beneath the horizon, but it's time to punch in and go to work. The comfort of your warm-ups turns into the grinding out of your reps as the clinking and the clanking of the plates create a symphony of euphoria. There's no other feeling like it. Earn it, burn it, and take what's yours. IE Sports Radio has proudly partnered with Vital Apparel, a brand that not only fits great, but also promotes and donates to mental health research. Use our code IESR to get 15% off their comfortable and inspiring gym wear and help them on their amazing journey to support mental health. Go hard, take part in your iron therapy, and be strong. Because when your mental health is as strong as you are, there's no telling how far you'll go.
Hey there, IE Sports Radio fans. Be sure to check out our sponsor, Seal the Deal Wax Seals by Cecilia B. You just finished your very own wedding or baby shower invitations and you're looking for that extra special touch? Maybe you just wrote a letter to a relative or a friend and you want to add to their smile when they receive it. Then seal the deal with Cecilia's handmade sealing wax stamps for your invitations, letters, and gifts. You bring the deal, we'll bring the seal. You can find them on Instagram at sealthedeal_wax stamps and on Facebook, Seal the Deal Wax Seals.
For the last 10 years, IE Sports Radio has been bringing you amazing content ranging from interviewing legendary athletes, coaches, and other authorized media personnel to building tailor-made shows dedicated to all major sports cities around the country. Make sure to follow us at IE Sports Radio on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube to keep up with the latest in sports and with all of our shows. Also, make sure to check out our daily updated website at iesportsradio.com. At iesportsradio.com, you can see our daily show schedule and check out all of our show pages with personal bios to learn a little bit more about each of our awesome hosts. In addition to our show pages, you can catch the iSports Radio blog, Hall of Fame, Fans of the Month page, and our merchandise shop including t-shirts, tank tops, caps, long sleeves, hoodies, and more. For now over a decade here at iSports Radio, we've continued to be by the fans, for the fans, and we thank you all for your support and for making iSports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports.
Welcome back to the Show of the Land with Jenn B on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Be sure to check out all of our wonderful sponsors and our newest sponsor, Raw Nutrition Supplements. Get rawnutrition.com. You can place your orders there. Use promo code IESR for 10% off your orders. You can catch me on all of the socials at Show of the Land IE on X and at Believe Land Girl on IG, Threads, and Blue Sky. And then Jen.BelieveLand on TikTok. If you want to support the show, you can catch it here. I also dropped it in the chat. So check that out to support the show. Now, let's get into it. The Cleveland Cavaliers, currently 46-10. But before we get into that, let's do a little recap of how our guys did in the All-Star games. Kenny's Young Guns played Chuck's Global Stars. Darius Garland and Evan Mobley played for Kenny's Young Guns, and Donovan Mitchell played for Chuck's Global Stars. Chuck's Global Stars got the win 41-32 and moved on to the next round. Then Shaq's OGs played Candace's Rising Stars. Head coach Kenny Atkinson was the coach for Shaq's OGs, and they won 42-35. Moving on to the next round to face Donovan Mitchell and Chuck's Global Stars. Shaq's OGs took the win 41-25. Kenny Atkinson was the All-Star champion team. So congratulations to those guys. Hopefully they had fun. There was lots of debate about what was whether it was even really worth it. It was weird. That's all I'm going to say. It was weird. So the Cavs Arena has a new name again. It has been changed from Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse to Rocket Arena, which is much easier to say. So I'm good with it. But like Kevin Love said, when it was announced, it will always be the Q to me. And I can get behind that to an extent, but it's also the Gund to me. So, because it was Gund Arena before it was Quicken Loans Arena. So, you know, it's changed names quite a few times over the past 30 years. But Rocket Arena works. That's nice and simple. Before they got back to regular action, the Cavs signed a charge player Naquan Tomlin to a 10-day contract. And if you recall, I actually predicted that this might happen on my show last week. So congratulations to Naquan. And hopefully he will get some decent playing time over this 10-day stretch, and we'll see what happens after that. The Cavs are also rumored to be in play for, I believe his name was Javonte Green, who took a buyout from the New Orleans Pelicans. Last I heard, he needs to clear waivers and pass a physical before it is official, but the plan was to sign with the Cavs once he is fully cleared. So we'll see. We'll keep an eye on that. Maybe we'll have more news on that next week. But the Cavs got back to regular season action on Thursday against the Brooklyn Nets. Dean Wade was still out. The Cavs were on a back-to-back, so they opted to keep him out of the first game so that he could play in the second game. And they won 110-97. Naquan Tomlin made his NBA debut in the fourth quarter, and he scored 3 points and had 1 rebound in 3 minutes of play. Donovan Mitchell led the team with 26 points. And Jarrett Allen and Evan Mobley both recorded double-doubles. Jarrett Allen with 16 points and 20 rebounds. Evan Mobley, 18 points and 14 rebounds. Not too bad, not too bad. Friday, the Cavs took on the New York Knicks. Both teams were coming off a back-to-back. Both teams played in New York on Thursday, and then this game was in Cleveland. And everyone was available for the Cavs. Their entire bench was available for the first time all season. The Cavs won 142-105 or 106, depending on where you look. ESPN has 106. Everybody else has 105. So I'm going with 105 because everywhere I looked said 105. And I added up the points that the Knicks scored and I got 105. So I'm going with 105. Jarrett Allen left in the second half with a hand injury. X-rays were negative. We're still waiting for further update on that. Kenny Atkinson has said that he may have a MRI. So no update so far on his standing. I haven't seen anything about whether or not he's available for today's game. So we'll keep an eye on that. It was the biggest win for the Cavs over the Knicks in franchise history. Donovan Mitchell led with 27 points, and Naquan Tomlin played once again, this time for 7 minutes, and he had 5 points and 1 rebound. Next up for the Cleveland Cavaliers, tonight they will take on the Memphis Grizzlies. Tuesday, the Orlando Magic, and Friday, the Boston Celtics. So they will be playing 2 of the top teams, one of the top teams in the West and the second team in the East, behind, of course, the Cleveland Cavaliers this week. So they already faced the third team in the East in the Knicks on Friday. So quite the gauntlet they have this coming week returning to action. So we'll see how this all plays out. But should they win all 3 of these games, they will be 49-10, which means they could hit win 50 on March 2nd when they play their first March game. which is crazy. This team is something special. I'm here for it. It's so much fun. On to the Cleveland Charge. During the off week for the All-Star break, the Charge acquired Loudon Love from the player pool, and they played only one game this week, yesterday, against the Birmingham Squadron, and they lost 104-100. Amoni Bates led with 18 points. Farron Hunt and Luke Travers both recorded double-doubles. Farron Hunt had 14 points and 12 rebounds. Luke Travers had 17 points and 14 rebounds. And Loudon Love made his debut and scored his first points with the Charge, scoring 5 points and recording 4 rebounds. The Charge do not record minutes played, so I'm not sure how long exactly he played, but not too shabby for his first go with the Charge. Next up for the Cleveland Charge, they will again play the Birmingham Squadron this afternoon. I expect they will win because generally when they do back-to-backs against the same team, they win one and they lose one. And since they lost it very close, I expect they will come out on top. But we'll see. They may not have some guys available if those guys are with the Cavs, though, since the Cavs do have a full roster depending on the status of Jarrett Allen. The Cavs might let the guys stay with the Charge. We'll see how that plays out. Or because the Charge are playing early, this has happened before. They may play for the Charge and then join the Cavs, and then Kenny will, use them sparingly, and they'll probably only play in the second half. Shout out to Larry B and Taryn Rodriguez in the chat. Taryn is the host of Set Point, our volleyball show, and the SoCal Supreme Sports Show. He also co-hosts 3 and Out with Larry B. Larry B also co-hosts the Sports Couple Perspectives with his lovely wife Cecilia B. And he is the GM, CEO, whatever you want to call him, of IE Sports Radio. We wouldn't be here without him, so shout out for that. Next up, and I'm not going to change the colors on this yet because not 100% sure what the Rockers colors are, because I was like 15 when they existed before. But the Cleveland Rockers are expected to be the 16th expansion team in the WNBA, debuting in 2028. There are mixed reports on this. There have been multiple reports that it is happening, and then there have been multiple reports that nothing is set in stone yet. So we will keep an eye on it, but it does sound like it is likely to happen. So that's exciting. Our first professional women's sports team, well, not first, I guess it would be the second, replacing the first. That was the same team. So definitely be keeping an eye on that, but exciting news there, especially since we got gypped out of the women's soccer team that was awarded to Denver. Now for some college hoops. And I have decided I'm just going to leave this one color instead of trying to change it for every single team I'm going to talk about, because there's a lot of them and that would just get crazy. So we're going to go with the Akron Zips colors because the Akron Zips are number 1 in the MAC currently. They were on a 14-game win streak and were, until last night, undefeated in conference play. The Ohio Bobcats handed Akron their first conference loss last night. They won. I have it here. 84-67. Yikes. Wasn't even a close loss for Akron there. But Akron is currently number 12 in the mid-major top 25. And this past week, they retired Enrique Freeman's number 25 at Tuesday's game. And of course, they won that game. That was 14 in a row right there. And Enrique Freeman is currently a member of the Indiana Pacers. So, congratulations to Enrique on having his number retired at Akron University. Ohio State women's basketball is currently ranked number 8, and Cody McMahon has surpassed 500 career rebounds. Also, Ava Watson was named Big Ten Freshman of the Week, and Jelani Cambridge was named the Burger King Player of the Week for the Ohio State Buckeyes women's basketball team. So, congratulations to those ladies. Hiram women's basketball clinched a berth to the NCAC tournament. Congratulations to those ladies as well. Cleveland State women's basketball clinched a quarterfinals berth to the Horizon League Women's Basketball Championship. So, congratulations to those ladies as well. Now, some men's basketball. The OAC men's basketball tournament begins on Tuesday. John Carroll finished in first as the regular season champs with a 20-5 overall record, 15-3 in conference. The Purple Raiders of Mount Union are number 2 in the OAC with a 17-8 overall record, 14-4 in conference. And their Elijah Farrington was named USBWA D3 National Player of the Week. So congratulations to Elijah. Number 3 was Heidelberg. They finished the season 16-9 overall, 12-6 in conference. Number 4, Muskingum, 13-12 overall, 11-7 in conference. Number 5, Otterbein, 14-11 overall, 9-9 in conference. And last but not least, number 6, Ohio Northern finished 14-11 overall, 8-10 in conference. Yikes. So the tournament starts on Tuesday. Game 1 will be Ohio Northern at Heidelberg. Game 2, Otterbein at Muskingum. Then the semifinals will be held on Thursday. John Carroll will play the winner of Game 2, Otterbein or Muskingum, and Mount Union will play the winner of Game 1, Ohio Northern or Heidelberg. And then Saturday will be the championship between the winners of those two games. The OAC women's basketball tournament also begins on Tuesday. Number 1 is Baldwin Wallace, coming off of a 24-game win streak. After losing Game 1, they haven't lost since and are the regular season champs. They were 18-0 in conference play. Number 2 is Ohio Northern. They finished at 18-7, 14-4 in conference. John Carroll is number 3, finishing 19-6. Overall, 13-5 in conference. Otterbein came in at number 6, and they went 12-12 overall, 8-9 in conference. Tuesday, John Carroll will face Otterbein. Thursday, Baldwin Wallace will play the winner of Capital and Marietta, and Ohio Northern will play the winner of John Carroll and Otterbein. Then Saturday will be the championship, and it will be the two winners of those two games being played on Thursday. So good luck to the ladies of the AOC and the men of the OAC and the men of the OAC as they enter their conference tournament. Toledo women's basketball is on a 7-game win streak after handing Ball State their first conference loss of the season on Wednesday, winning 70-66. Bowling Green's men's basketball's Dejan Humphrey surpassed 1,000 career points this week. So congratulations to him. And Kent State women's basketball's Maya Babbitt broke the school record for threes in a single season with 72 and counting. So congratulations to Maya for that accomplishment. Now let's talk a little bit of baseball. The Guardians, the Guardians. I just don't know about these Guardians. I don't know. But, we'll see how it goes. Left-handed pitcher Sam Hentges has been placed on the 60-day IL, which was expected. The Guardians also signed left-handed starting pitcher John Means to a 1-year contract with a club option for 2026. He is expected to report, or he was expected to report to camp this past week, and I believe he has. He is recovering from Tommy John surgery and expected to be ready in August. To make room for John Means, David Fry was placed on the 60-day IL, also expected. Shane Bieber is working for a mid-summer return. Best case scenario is mid-June, more likely mid-July around the All-Star break. But we'll keep an eye on that. He is progressing well. Minor league spring training got underway this past week. Or is starting. I'm sorry. They're reporting this weekend, so they will be starting up next week. The Guardians played their first spring training game yesterday against the Cincinnati Reds. Terry Francona opted to not be present for this game because he wanted it to be about the players. So the Reds were in a split squad matchup yesterday, playing one game against the Guardians and one against the Brewers. So he was with the part of the team that played the Brewers instead because he didn't want all of the focus to be on him. The Guardians starting lineup was shortstop Brian Rocchio, first base Carlos Santana, third base Jose Ramirez, center field Lane Thomas, catcher Bo Naylor, right field Jhonkensy Noel, second base Gabriel Arias, DH Austin Hedges, left field Angel Martinez, and starting pitcher was Tristan McKenzie. I don't know what I think about this lineup. When I first saw it, I was like, what? I don't know about Gabriel Arias at second base, but we'll see. And Austin Hedges at DH makes absolutely no sense. Not sure what's going on with Stephen Kwan and why he was not playing. But Angel Martinez in left field is okay. I'm okay with that. But these the second base and DH, a little questionable there, but we'll see. It's only the first game of spring training, so it is what it is. Lane Thomas had a 2-run home run in the first inning, and those were the only points or the only runs for the Guardian. Oh no, I take that back. That wasn't because they lost 6-3. Somebody hit a triple. One of the minor league invitees to camp hit a triple towards I think it was in the 9th inning. And then somebody got a single or something and hit him in. But next up for the Guardians, today at 3 p.m., they will be taking on the Anaheim Angels. Monday, the Arizona Diamondbacks. Tuesday, the Milwaukee Brewers. Wednesday, the Texas Rangers. Thursday, the Chicago White Sox. Friday, the Colorado Rockies. And Saturday, the Chicago Cubs. And just a little bit of college baseball and softball to talk about. I will get more into the college scene over the coming weeks. But right now, basketball is hitting the finals or the final stretch with the tournaments and things of that like. So we'll be talking a little bit more about college basketball than baseball and softball right now, but we'll get more into the baseball and softball as the season progresses. Ashland baseball is currently ranked 19 in the nation, and Akron's Macy Walters was named MAC Pitcher of the Week. She pitched 14 and a third innings with an ERA of 1.95, 4 strikeouts, and 1 save. So, congratulations to Macy Walters there and to the Ashland Eagles baseball team for being 19 in the nation. I am going to take a short break, and when I return, we will get into some hockey and volleyball. So stay right here with the show of the land on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports, and I will be right back after this.
How we doing, sports fans? This is Christian Harvey, your host of Gritsville, USA, your go-to show for all things Detroit and Michigan here on IE Sports Radio. Whether you're here for Gritty Lions talk, getting pumped up for the great Detroit sports renaissance, or hating on your neighbor depending on if they were green or blue, we got you covered. Whether you're in the East, West, or Central, we got you covered. Join me as we tackle through all that the great state of Michigan has to offer in the world of sports. Catch me, Christian Harvey, each week on Gritsville, USA, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Sports fans, do you like teams that are tough, cities that are tougher, and fan bases that are passionate about their teams? How about teams that are historic and stadiums that are iconic? Then you belong in Chicago, and you need to check out Chi-Town Weekly. Join me, Adam Kernan, every week as we keep up with all things Chicago sports. Bears, Bulls, Blackhawks, Cubs, White Sox. We'll cover them all, plus more. The Windy City is always buzzing, and we'll keep you up on all the big games and major stories. So tune in to Chi-Town Weekly every week right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Welcome back to the show of the land with Jenn B on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Be sure to check out Gritsville, USA for all of your Michigan sports needs, and Chi-Town Weekly with Adam Karnick for your Chicago sports needs. Now for the hockey of it all. The Four Nations face-off wrapped up this past week. The Team USA played Sweden in a meaningless game on Monday, losing 2-1. The US had already clinched their spot in the championship game on Thursday, so it really did not mean much to the U.S., but Zach Werenski did record an assist and was named the third star of the game. And that is what we here in Ohio care about, right? Zachy getting it done. Ohio Stadium is in the process of being converted to a hockey rink in preparation for the Columbus Blue Jackets Stadium Series game versus the Detroit Red wow, Red Wings that is coming up this coming Saturday. Kevin LeBlanc has an body injury, and it has been announced since the Four Nations face-off ended that he will miss the remainder of the season after having shoulder surgery. The Blue Jackets recalled forward Joseph Labate from the Cleveland Monsters in preparation for getting back underway for the NHL season following the Four Nations face-off. The Four Nations Face-Off Championship was held on Thursday, USA versus Canada, and the US lost to Canada in overtime 3-2. Zach Werenski did have an assist on the USA's second goal of the game and finished with 6 points on 6 assists and was the leading scorer and led all skaters in assists for the entire tournament. So, way to go, Zachy. Way to represent Columbus and the USA. Boone Jenner and Kirill Marchenko have been activated from IR. Woohoo! We're getting the guys back. And last night, the Blue Jackets took on the Chicago Blackhawks, winning 5-1. Kent Johnson scored 2 goals. One was a power play goal. Denton Matejchuk had a goal. Zach Werenski had a goal. And Adam Fantilli scored a goal as well. Zach Werenski continued his home points streak. He is currently at 22 consecutive home games with a point. Fantastic. Zach Werenski for the Norris Trophy. Let's get it going. Next up for the Blue Jackets, Tuesday, they will take on the Dallas Stars. Thursday, the Detroit Red Wings. And then Saturday, the Detroit Red Wings at Ohio Stadium for the Stadium Series matchup. Next, we have the Cleveland Monsters. They did not have as great of a week, but it is what it is. Sunday, they played the Chicago Wolves. They did win 3-2. Trey Fix-Wolanski, Sam Nasco, and Luca Del Belbaluz all scored the goals in that one. But then Wednesday, they played the Rochester Americans and lost 4-0. So, not much to talk about there. Nobody scored any goals. Cole Sillinger will miss the remainder of the season with a knee injury that will require surgery. So, that stinks. Wishing him a speedy recovery, him and Kevin LeBlanc. Next up for the Cleveland Monsters, this afternoon and tomorrow, they will be facing the Belleville Senators, and Friday and Saturday this week, they will take on the Charlotte Checkers. So hopefully they can get a couple more wins in those 4 games. That would be nice. Now let's talk some Ohio State hockey. Ohio State men's hockey is up to number 7 in the rankings, and defenseman Damian Carfagna, not sure if I'm saying that right, but that's what we're going with, earned the Big Ten first star of the week, and Ohio State women's hockey is right back where they belong at number 2. After a slow start to the season, they are turning things around. Season is getting ready to end. Tournaments will be starting, so we will keep an eye on how that all plays out going forward. Now for the Columbus Fury. And like I said in my intro, we don't have to Wah. Because they went 2-0 this week. Monday, they played the league-leading Vegas Thrill and won 3-1, winning set 1 25-20, set 2 25-20. They lost set 3 22-25, and then they won set 4 25-21. Kaylee Ramelsberg had 5 aces to help the Fury with this win. Thursday, they played the Grand Rapids Rise and won 3-2. They lost set 1 16-25. Then they won set 2 27-25. Lost set 3 22-25. Won set 4 25-22. But sadly, Megan Courtney Lush was carried off the court with an apparent ankle injury. Have not seen any updates on her status as of yet. So we'll keep an eye on that. And then they won set 5, 15-13, wrapping up the match. Next up for the Columbus Fury. This afternoon, they will take on Atlanta Vibe, and next Saturday, San Diego Mojo. So here's hoping they can get a couple more wins under their belt. Shout out to Ralph Calise, host of the Yenzer Report. Be sure to catch him on Fridays for your Pittsburgh sports needs. Now for some college volleyball. Now, I would have said men's volleyball, but I actually have one little note for women's volleyball. But we'll get to that here shortly. Ohio State men's volleyball Shane Wetzel was named MIVA Offensive Player of the Week with 28 kills. Mount Union men's volleyball's Michael Bowler was named MCVL Offensive Player of the Week, averaging 3.7 kills per set. Mount Union's Peyton Koselak was named MCVL Defensive Player of the Week, averaging 3.5 digs per set. And like I said, some women's volleyball news. Ohio State women's volleyball's Olivia Hasbrook, Kaya Castle, and Nevaeh Guthier are headed to tryouts for the USA women's national team. So good luck to those ladies. And the 2025 NCAA Men's Volleyball Championship will be held at Ohio State's Covelli Center May 8th through the 12th. So fun things happening in Columbus this year. I am going to take another short break, and when I come back, we will talk some football and football to wrap up the show. So stay right here with the show of the land with Jenn B on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. And I will be right back after this.
What's happening, sports fans? Are you a fan of Southern California sports? Are you looking for a show hotter than a hot summer day in California? Then look no further than the SoCal Supreme Sports Show, where I talk about all things Southern California sports. That's right, all sports teams from Southern California. From the hard-hitting tackles of the NFL, to the killer crossovers and big three-pointers of the NBA and WNBA, to the grand slams of the MLB, to the bone-chilling goals of the NHL, and to the booming kicks of the MLS. The SoCal Supreme Sports Show has it all for you. Oh, and let us not forget about the college sports as well. So join me, Taryn Rodriguez, every week here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Hello, everyone. My name is Daryl Kinsey Jr., and I'm welcoming you to take another lap with the fastest show on IE Sports Radio. Yes, this is the Extra Mile with me and my co-hosts Christopher Lehman and Michael Ward. We talk everything racing from NASCAR to IndyCar to Formula One to limited hydroplanes, endurance racing, the NHRA, and more. So come join us for an hour of great racing talk and a lot of fun as well on the Extra Mile, Thursdays at 8 p.m. only on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Welcome back to the show of the land with Jenn B on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. You can catch me tomorrow night on the Extra Mile as we talk some racing. And be sure to check out the next NASCAR race that is today in Atlanta. Got a little bit of Cleveland Browns news, not much, but there's always something. Because as much as I say I don't want to talk about the Browns, something always happens. The Browns terminated the contract of running back Nyheim Hines. Cornerback Greg Newsome has stated that he would like a long-term contract extension and an increased role on the field. So we will see what happens there. Because, as far as I'm concerned, after this whole Myles Garrett thing that's been going on these last month and a half, I want guys here that want to be here. So if he wants to be here, sign him up. Dwan Jones underwent a scope to clean up the knee he had surgically repaired in 2023 after a torn MCL, but he should be ready for camp. So hopefully we will have a wholly healthy Dwan Jones entering the 2025 season. We have a bunch of news with Ohio State. They made a bunch of coaching hires, promotions, etc. Ohio State promoted Billy Fessler to quarterback coach. They also hired Tyler Bowen as run game coordinator and offensive line coach. They promoted safeties coach Matt Gurriari to pass game coordinator. They promoted tight end coach Keenan Bailey to co-offensive coordinator, and they promoted secondary and cornerback coach Tim Walton to co-defensive coordinator. Additionally, the Ohio State Spring Showcase will be held on April 12th at Ohio Stadium. Columbus Crew. The long-awaited opening of the MLS season has come. But before that, the Crew extended goaltender Patrick Schulte through 2027 with a club option for 2028. So that is fantastic news because Schulte is one of the best. They also loaned Abraham Romero to the USL Colorado Springs Swingbacks through May 31st, but retained the right to recall him at any time. Last night, the Columbus Crew took on Chicago Fire FC and won 4-2. Rudy Camacho, Lassie Lampalinen, I don't know. There's a lot of N's and A's and L's and P's in that name. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but Lassie Lampalainen, I think. Taha Habron and Nicholas Hagan were all out with injuries. Captain Darlin Nagby made his 400th career start in this first match of the Crew's 30th season. Jason Russell Rowe scored the first goal at the 19th minute. Then Chicago had an own goal. Thank you very much, Chicago. At 37 minutes, Diego Rossi scored goals at 45 plus 1 and 50 minutes. leading the cruise charge for the win 4-2. And of course, Diego Rossi was named the man of the match. Next up for the Columbus Crew, Saturday, they will take on New England Revolution in Game 2 of MLS play. So hopefully they can get another win. Love the points. Always love the points for the Crew. We need them to stay on top. And tomorrow you can check out Ricky K's show, New York State of Sports. He has someone that covers MLS on his show tomorrow, and they will actually be talking a little bit about the Columbus Crew. He messaged me after his conversation with the guy to let me know that it was mentioned that the Columbus Crew is expected to be a top 3 team in the East this year. So that is fantastic to hear, especially with all the roster changes that have happened this season. Now for the Cleveland Crunch, after the crazy win against the Canadian Crusaders last week, played this team 3 weeks in a row. They lost the first one and they won the next 2, but barely. These were very, very close games, all 3 of them. Head coach Antonio Manfut made a statement saying, anytime that you can perform and show that you are the team to beat in the regular season is amazing. So we're just trying to win every game and keep the momentum going through the playoffs. And they are the team to beat. They remain the team to beat, even with that one loss. They are number 1. Saturday, last night, they played Lansing Red Cedar and won 15-3. Dave Jordan had a hat trick, and goaltender Liam McIntosh was named man of the match with 15 saves and 0 goals allowed in the first half of that match. So another fantastic win for the Cleveland Crunch. Their next match will be Saturday against Fort Wayne Summit City. So hopefully they can continue because they are the lone championship team in Cleveland since like 2016, I think. I think that was the last time the Cavs or the Monsters won anything. So that's it. Just the Cleveland Crunch. That's all we got. You know, we got some teams in Columbus that get it done, but Cleveland's got the Crunch and hopefully the Cavs this season. But that is all I have for today. So thank you all for joining me on the Show of the Land with Jenn B right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Be sure to root on the Cleveland Cavaliers tonight as they take on the Memphis Grizzlies. The Cleveland Charge as they take on Birmingham Squadron this afternoon. The Cleveland Guardians, who will be taking on the Anaheim Angels, also this afternoon in spring camp games. And I think that's all. Oh, nope. The Monsters play this afternoon as well against the Belleville Senators, and the Columbus Fury are also playing this afternoon against the Atlanta 5. And in between all of those games, check out the NASCAR race in Atlanta as well. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday and weekend, and I will catch you next Sunday right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a great week.